All right. I waited way too long to go live. But well, anyways. Okay, so let's have a hard conversation. Um, and by a hard conversation, I mean let's have a hard conversation. So yesterday I was talking to some people and I was talking about what is it um what is it in my business? Oops. Hold on. Sorry. Uh, mute. Okay, so now that you heard me twice, you got to make sure that you're watching yourself, right? We need those views. Here's the thing. What is it in my business that I am the worst at? I am there's a joke that is amongst all of the coaches. We can teach it, we can train it, we can delegate it. But when we do it ourselves, it is, hey Sophia, love you, beautiful. When we do it ourselves, it is a brick that drags us to the bottom of the ocean. And I was talking to somebody the other day about how I had thought that somebody personal to me had hit rock bottom and how I couldn't fathom that the 2 years that they had fought to get out of this rock bottom, that they were doing things that pretty much was leading back down to that rock bottom. And inside of that conversation, inside of that space, right, of somebody being at rock bottom and me saying, I can't believe that they're going back, that was a conversation I had. And then yesterday I had a conversation with two people, Forrest and Sarah. I had a conversation with Forrest and Sarah. And if you guys follow us, you know that Forrest is financial advisor. And you know that Sarah is continuously supporting and driving and just building me to the highest limits. And if you've been following me, you also know that I took a huge leap. I took a huge leap and I moved. And I moved to Louisiana, and I did that thinking that I was going to be able to help a client. I did that thinking that it was going to be less expensive to live, and I could do things a little bit differently, and I could change up the world. And the contract that I had flipped on its head, and it didn't work out. Well, a year later, I am deciding what the next steps are. And 6 months ago, I sat down and I reformatted, I refocused, I rebuilt, I did a lot. I did a lot of the things that foundationally in a business you do. And I have a huge pride in that. And what I talked about with Sarah and Forrest yesterday was something that I talk about with a lot of clients. As business owners, you really have to wear every hat. As business owners, you're the person that is direct contact with your customers, right? If you have a retail or whatever, you have your team. Um, but still, you need to be the person that's making sure that that team is providing the service that you want, your level of expectations. And sometimes that means that you run the front line with them and side by side with them to show them those expectations and to set that expectation. Um, Sometimes as a business owner, you're the person who has to make the calls and send the LinkedIns and say, "Hey, this is my business. This is what I do. Do you need this service?" And as business owners, we're the people that work with clients. As business owners, we're the ones doing the money. We're the maintainers. We are creating recipes. We are creating programs. We are creating income for the business with the high expectation of a residual income so that we can slow our roll, delegate out a lot, and really build something that is going to last a long time and create amazing things. And that is the dream, right? That's the dream of being a business owner is that you start in you start in the mud, you're creating it, you're building it, you've got that foundational work, you get your concrete in there, you're standing now not on the mud. And for me, I help so many business owners just build these amazing skyscrapers. And I have seen many of them not do things that will help them. I have seen many of them avoid stuff, and I get frustrated, right? Because you're like, man, just grab that bull by the horns, just get this done. Like you're so close. And what I realized yesterday is I I have a foundational business. I have the proof in the pudding, guys. The clients that have come through my 90-day program, the clients that join our free, whether it's paid or it's free, I have seen clients soar. Now, granted, when it's paid, it's more one-to-one, and I have seen them soar faster. I have seen them click and get those ideas faster. And my goal as a coach and a consultant and a friend is to make sure that my clients pop in and out after they've been here and they say, "Hey, this is an idea. Can you help me brainstorm this?" Great, let's do that. But my but I give them the tools to not need me. My goal is to graduate out all of my clients. Well, in the conversation yesterday, I don't want to market. I love doing the pre-posting. I will pre-post, I will create different campaigns. I like those. Those are fun. And if I use the right tool, then it's really fun. And when I use a tool that's not the right tool, then it's, what it is. But I do have to pre-post. I can't just post on a daily. It doesn't align with who I am. So yesterday's conversation was, well, Brittany, what are you going to do? Right? What are you going to do, Brittany? Because you have a skyscraper. Right? And literally, we have a skyscraper. I have my business is fundamentally put together. All of my packages are there. Everything is there. The only thing not there is a sales force. And I am not a sales force, guys. I just, for some reason, every part of me says I don't want to do this. And if I had the umpteenth amount of money and I could pay a sales force and I just show up, I would do it. Um, but I think the first step in figuring out how can I be a sales force is figuring out what does it take to just tell people what I do. I never really tell people what I do. And I brag on clients all the time. I brag on friends all the time. I push, I create, I do all kinds of different things. But personally, I never talk about what I do. And I run episodes where people talk about what they do and I encourage them to do those things. So that's what we're going to do this morning. This morning, it's not going to be a 5-minute live. Um, I'm going to talk about what I do. And I guess in some of that, I should have, maybe I can do it here. Okay, here we go. So when you read the post today, you are going to, I'm going to read to you kind of what I came up with. And here it is. So I am an accountability and tech strategist. It says so in the bottom corner down there. I should probably make that a little bit bigger, but also I don't want the words to be the focus, right? Um, so let me do this properly because I also know that you can't see that itty bitty tiny thing that says what my name is. Um, okay, so I am Brittany Jones. I am an accountability tech strategist. And what on earth does that mean? I act as a sounding board and a personal mastermind. So, with intention and alignment, I am going to help you really understand where you want to go and where you want your business to go. Those are two completely separate things. Um, I work with people with objective key results. I help them build a 20-year, where do you want to be in 20 years? Where do you want your business to be in 20 years? These are two different things. I am going to be 40 next year. So for me in 20 years, that's I'll be 60. I don't want to be the only person, the only accountability coach in BizStorming, right? I want it to be a business that has a residual income where I can show up and help people and help coaches and help just assist in different areas, but also not have to be here all the time. But my business, I want it to be thriving. I mean, we have free meetings for beginner business owners who don't have two pennies to run together, and we're able to help and push them. And then we do have a pricing that is fair for business owners who are like, okay, I found some pennies. Um, and I am told time and time again by all the coaches, all the like high ticket coaches, be a high ticket. I don't want to be a high ticket. I'm not going to be a high ticket. Biz storming is not a high ticket. And the reason why it is not is because if we were a high ticket, those people already know how to make that money. Those people already know where to go and how to be there. I I want to help the people who are like, "Hey, I have worked hard for 10, 15, 20 years and I've made other people money and I am a pro at what I do. Now I want to do this. Now I want to run a business because I know how I want the customers to be treated because I've seen people treat them poorly. I know how I want my staff to be treated because I've seen them be treated poorly. When an entrepreneur comes into the world, they're coming into the world to make it a better place. And if you make that an unobtainable amount of money for somebody who is just wanting to make it a better place, then I can't do that, right? So BizStorming in 20 years is going to have multiple coaches. They're going to be making a good wage. There's going to be amazing things. And yes, we do have high ticket things, and um, there is that for people. So for you, where do you want to be? What do you want your business to look like? And when we do this, I really have you go through this system of objective key results where you think about it, where you think about what is my objective? And in 20 years, if this is my objective, then what is my benchmark at 20? What is my benchmark at 5? And what do I have to do today to get me there? So today and tomorrow and this year, I have to be on this trajectory. And we build that for you. And we look at what really aligns. I've had people come in who are like, oh, I need to focus on this. And when we talk about your time and your energy, if people are focusing on this is taking a lot of time. It's not making a lot of money. So, what are things that we can do to get you a lot of money in a little bit of time? And I've seen so many customers and clients really flourish on that idea, right? Yeah, I like to do this and I can still do it over here, make more money, help more people, or I can do it, I can take this and I can make it look this way and it's going to really even out. So when you have that conversation, when we build programs and we're in our head, it's very difficult to really suss out the full potential. And when you use ChatGPT or whoever it is you use, my chat is called Spark, just so you know, with a C. Um, he named himself, um, and so here's the thing. When you're bouncing those ideas in your internal, there's still a little bit of a box that you live in. So when you work with somebody like me, I help you open that box. You think this is the only way, and I give you some options, and you start to build from that because I listen to you. What about this really intrigues you? What about this that you're doing is the most fun part for you? Because here's the other thing, guys. You could take on clients, right? And we talked about this earlier. I could do a high ticket and I could take on high ticket clients, but talking to them, they already have a certain level of where they're at. When I talk to clients who are starting out, they have the whole world to explore and become who they want to be. And because we've lived in our world, we have this idea of what we can become and what we want to be. But when we start to bring in other people, we hear other things. And that's why Sarah and I run the co working space. And that's why I run accountability for free, because when everybody comes into that accountability meeting, and trust me, I have one-to-one clients who go to accountability because even though my ideas and my outside the box, look, I'm way outside the box, guys. I can look at anything from 30 different angles and I can build so many things that a lot of people don't see. But even with my ability to do that, when you go in and you take the same problem to Forrest, to Sarah, to Terry, to Sophia, when you take those same conversations to them, they see things differently. Terry the other day, Sophia, I know you're watching. Terry the other day was like, oh my gosh, I had this conversation with Sophia about just journaling. And Terry got this whole different idea of what journaling is. Because a lot of people think it's, Dear Diary, today so and so was mean to me. But as a business owner, dear diary, today sucked. I don't want to do it. Um, but it can be as simple as just writing down every word that comes to mind and creating a flow, right? So everyone journals differently. Everybody views journaling differently. And when you have 5 different people who are in a room, if you ask me how I journal, I'm going to tell you I don't. If you ask me how I take notes, I write it down, it sticks in my brain, and I never touch it again. Um, so you get that clarity, right? And you get a different voice. You get to be able to see what that is. And never, ever, ever. And Sarah and I talked about this yesterday in Unleashed. If you didn't catch it, we are live on Wednesday mornings and we do these kind of talks. But Yesterday morning, we had talked about how you can have as many coaches as you want. And if you continuously change your program or you continuously change what you're doing, you're going to sit stagnant because you're resetting the systems, resetting your algorithms, resetting different things. I don't want you to listen to me. I want you to hear what I said and take bits of that and create for yourself what you align with. And when I work with clients, they'll say something and I'll see it. If I tell you, okay, I'm going to go do LinkedIn, you can hear the hesitation in my voice and you can call me out on my BS. Hey, Brittany, do you want to restate that statement? Did you hear yourself? Are you sure that's something that aligns with you? And so I do that with my clients. We have that conversation, and I'm able to help them get to the very clear part of where they want to go to. I work with them on an hour basis. We work with 2-hour bases. And no matter what, when they come back next week, there's a whole different conversation that came out of the previous conversation because now they're able to look, they're able to ask, they're able to reach out to different people and get advice or feedback. So that is what we do inside of the accountability strategy. Really just working to get you the trajectory. I don't know why, to get you where you want to go. And it's so that you know what to do today, you know what to do tomorrow, and it sustains over time. Phenomenal, right? Great idea. That doesn't mean it won't change. That doesn't mean that you won't see I thought that this was what I wanted and now it's not. Reassess. Continuously reassess. That's the only way you're going to stay strong in your business. Um, so when we look at when we look at the tech side of things, I can build your website. I have $1,000 5-page website build. I can do that for you. Um, you would probably love it if I did that for you. Now, I would tell you that I can build you a basic website for $1,000, and then I would tell you to head over. I have some people who work on SEO only. I would have you head over to them and have them update the SEO on the website because honestly, $1,000 does not buy the time and energy to put into SEO. Now, I do my best to make sure that I know the tips and the tricks and make sure that most basic SEO stuff is covered because that's important for your website, but I'm not the SEO specialist. The other things that I do on your website is I build you a shell. I build you a shell of a website that then you go in and you can update, maintain, and properly continue because you want to touch your website once a month. You want to make sure that there are updates being done to it. It's part of the algorithms. It helps. So, yes, I can build your website. I can also teach you how to build your own website. And I can take the time to let you take your business in your hand and you take your tools in your hand. That way you once you if you want me to, I build the shell, I teach you how to update, modify, and then you can decide if you want a VA to do that. Well, here's the great thing. If your VA is sick and they can't do something, you now know how to go in and do it. You're not fully reliant on that VA. Also, when we implement a tool, you will hear me say, so I love Metrical. I think it's one of the best pre-posting ones out there. I love Metrical. It's my favorite one. And right now I'm using Funnel Sketchers, which is my CRM, and I love Funnel Sketchers. It's a version of Go High Level, and it's a version of all of that. So, and it's at a very affordable price, and the team for Funnel Sketchers is phenomenal. So when you're looking at the system, that you're using, knowing what the purpose of it is. This is why I pay this much money a month for this tool. If I could pay for a scheduler, I would pay for Visita. I would pay all day long for Visita. For people who need simple schedules, I always tell them to use Calendly. It is great. I was gifted TidyCal. I am not a big fan of it, but I use it because right now that's just where I'm at. So I can help you find financially what tool is going to be best for you, but also the idea of eventually this is where I want to go, right? Eventually I want to have this tool. But inside of using that tool, I'm going to teach you what that tool does. The purpose of this tool is to make sure that I have this, and this schedulable so that I'm not spending 2 hours talking to somebody to figure out what time of back and forth it's going to take, right? Oh, are you free on Tuesday? Yeah, but I am free at this time and this time. Oh, well, that doesn't work for me. Are you free on Wednesday at this time and this time? No, I'm not. Here's my scheduling link. Book a time. If that doesn't work, send me 3 times that works for you, and I'll see if I can fit that into my schedule, or send me your schedule. There's a lot of times that we have things that are blocked off on our schedule on purpose. Also, who wants to go in and be fully available? You want to not be always available. Supply and demand, guys, supply and demand. So I'm going to teach you what the purpose of that tool is. I'm going to teach you the purpose of Metricool is to pre-post. Also, you want to make sure that you're doing things where you post daily, where you're posting organically as well. It helps with your numbers. The other day, somebody came with this great LinkedIn 360 module. Sarah put it into the system, and it was like a ridiculous amount of 20 hours to follow that module. I don't know a business owner who has 20 hours to follow that module to the T. And when I was like, oh, this is what I'm going to do, they're like, oh, well, I don't think that's going to work. It has the link in it. I'm always going to have a link. I've heard it from multiple people. Don't have a link. It bogs down your algorithm. I personally feel that if I don't have a link, then you don't have a call to action. What is the purpose of me talking for 30 minutes about what I do if you don't have a call to action to take that on if that's what you want to do? So always, 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 you can find me at bizstorming.net, but I'm always going to allow everyone that option. And I'll throw it in the chat again because it's important. So that's what I do. That's what I do. I just had a 90-day client who graduated out, and she came with like all of these ideas, didn't know where she was going. And in the first session, I told her about objective key results. She sat with them for a week, and then I ended up giving her 2 weeks because we couldn't meet that second week. And she came back and she was like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know the possibilities, right? And she changed what her focus was going to be. And we built, at that time, it was kind of over Christmas time. So we built this, she did this. She built like, you hit this Christmas light, then you hit this Christmas light, and you hit this. And she had this whole Christmas light analogy of how people come into their business. It was phenomenal to watch. I have another client who Kat Markel, she did my website. And she also, so it was a trade. It was a 90-day trade for the website. She did my website and I helped her. And on the last day of the 90 days, everything had just clicked. And she shifted on the last day. The first, like everything was a conversation, and you could tell that she was grasping it. She was getting She was getting used to it, and here's the thing, I didn't tell Kat anything she didn't already know. I just helped her to reinforce the things that she already knew and to stand firm inside of what she already knew. And now she's running I mean, she's always been successful, but now, when you watch her post, she is helping other coaches build their websites because she went through the most difficult coach. But she's helping other coaches build business plans and build their websites and grow, and that was never what she was looking to do, and she looks so happy. Terry Hill, works with me, Sophia works with me, Sarah takes some advice of mine, I've seen Forrest doing some stuff that Sarah and I and Terry and I and everybody in the accountability space and in our co-working space has given. Um, my business and my purpose in the business, the purpose of the business, and the passion of the business is beyond reproach. No one I've seen people care as much as I care, but I'm at a different level, guys. I help you see you the way that I see you. And this was something that we had talked about a long time ago about a reflection. The people who are around you are the people that you want to reflect, right? They're the people who you want to be, and you don't know it, but they kind of want to be a little bit like you too. And so when they're giving you those positive vibes, it's because you've given them those positive vibes. When there's this reflection of how they perceive you, that they're going to then, in exchange, give you that. And I love watching every single person in our community grow and thrive and be kind and be wise. And I mean wise. Like, look, you guys, if you're starting to build a business, I've seen people who are not wise in business, but they're wise in what they're trying to do. I've seen people who might not be wise in business, but when we're having a conversation, they have feedback that is amazing. And you wouldn't think of that because people have this amazing innate nature to bring out the best of you, but allow you to be the best of who you are. And yesterday in the meeting with Forrest and Sarah, I was not the best of who I was because I'm scared. I feel trapped and I feel like I have hit rock bottom, right? Because when you can say, I have an amazing business that I support, that I stand behind, that I feel, hi Terry, that I feel is the best of the best. When you can say that, but then you end up turning around and you end up turning around feeling as if, I don't even know the best way to say this. My business is phenomenal, but I'm not the best salesperson. I don't know how to be a salesperson. I don't want to be a salesperson. And it's hard for me to even talk about what I do. So yesterday I was scared. I was not my best person in that conversation. They were phenomenal though. They both were giving options and helping, and I'm just scared. And the best coaches are the coaches that have been where you are. The best coaches are the coaches that have that conversation and are willing to share their experiences. I will tell you my experience. I will tell you experiences of clients I have had. I will tell you stories upon stories where you are not alone. Please don't run your business by yourself. And if you are at a place where you feel like your foundation is rocky, or even if you feel like you have a strong foundation, but you're not quite sure about those systems, you're not quite sure about how to put it all together, come see me. Come see me. If you don't feel like you have the financial means, we have free meetings. If you don't have the if you don't want to be on camera because everything we do is virtual, we have the option to turn your camera off. Look, guys, you are more than welcome to sit in one of our collaboration rooms with your camera off. Sarah does it all the time. I think she does it just because her photo is a chicken, though, and we all like to stare at the chicken. So I think she has purpose for what she does. And I also think she does it so that other people feel comfortable not turning on their cameras. So I turn on my camera so that people who want to turn on theirs. She keeps hers off so that people who don't want to don't have to. There's very few places that I have found, and I network a lot, where people accept people where they are as they are. And I can tell you, Terry, Sophia, Forrest, Lisa, um, we've got Jackie, we've got Dominic, we've got Donna, we have Australians, we have Americans, we have Sweden, we have we have Indian we have Indians that live in Sweden. We have an amazing community, from the West Coast to the East Coast, from all around the world. Just join us. Join us for a free meeting. If you don't have the link to our Luma, it is luma.com. Uh, is storming. Go check that link out. Also, you will find Terry and Sophia's meetings at luma.com, net biz networking. BIZ networking. So go find a community, guys. Be a part of a community. Be a part of something phenomenal. We are more than grateful to see you all. It's it's important. So I'm going to end this live. There are quite a few people watching. I greatly appreciate you guys. And I will end with Terry. She says, BizStorming does a phenomenal job of providing clarity and focus in business with graded actionable items that help one to exceed goals if put in the work. And that's the goal, right? So we have to put in the work. As business owners, we have to put on those hats. And sometimes we have to determine delegate, do it, or drop it. So I will see you all super soon. Next week, we start our meetings up again. This Friday is a layback Friday. I look forward to seeing you guys. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great day.